My name is Laurie Ford. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So I'd like to talk about the birth of my daughter, Grace. I became pregnant with twins, and everything was going wonderful. At 23 weeks, I went into the doctor, and they put their hand on my chest, and they said I wasn't going to be going back to work, that I was going to be going into emergency surgery. And they said that in order to be viable, the babies needed to make it to 24 weeks. Without getting overly technical and medical, the babies were about to fall out. And so the surgery they had to do was to go in and basically like a purse string and tie the cervix up. Then a week later I went back in to check, and the cerclage was not holding. And they sent me in, they said you have to be admitted immediately, and I was on upside down bed rest in the hospital, and this was at 23 weeks. That went on for about 1 week, and then all of a sudden I started having tremendous pain and preterm labor, and one of the babies, they lost the heartbeat at that time. We didn't know when the second baby was going to be coming. I was still on the upside down bed rest. They said it could be 24 hours or it could be 2 weeks. They weren't sure. At that point, they wheeled me down into the high risk labor and delivery area, and I did incorporate some of the gifts that yoga had given me at that point, because I just had to remain very calm, and I couldn't let the grief overcome me, because at that point I still had one baby. The fever started to spike. The second baby was getting the infection, and that's when the yoga all of a sudden really started kicking in, because it was very traumatic and chaotic and dynamic, and they said I was going to have to be wheeled into emergency C-section, and the operating room was right across the hall from me. So it all was happening very quickly. You see your life flashing before your eyes, and my life was in danger, baby's life was in danger. I started practicing the Ujjayi breath and the Savasana, and I just, on the operating table, and I clearly remember it to this day, and I let the universe take over. So Grace was born Friday the 13th. She was 1 pound, 13 ounces. And then I brought, just to show you, this is the little hat, and this is the little diaper. And so at that point, things were still very scary. And the other baby was named Abby. We had a memorial service for Abby. We named Abby, we baptized Abby. In the meantime, though, Grace was fighting for her life. That we evoked the universe and any help we could get. We called her Grace. We call her Amazing Grace. She had stage 4 brain bleeding at that point, and she had heart surgery at 9 days. And it was a very uncertain time, and she lived at Northside Hospital in Atlanta for 3 months. At the end of that now, there is a happy ending to my story. Grace is now 11 years old. She's a ballerina. She just was auditioned and is going to be on Point. She was the March of Dimes poster child for 2 years after this. And then after 5 years, I mustered up enough courage to try again. I was on full bed rest that pregnancy, but everything went well. I had a full-term healthy baby girl, Noelle. And this is Grace, who's now 11, Amazing Grace, and that's her little sister, Noelle, and everything is wonderful now.